What's up, guys? It's Sam here, and I wanted to give an update on the Airbnb in Florida and how that is going with the results. So, before I do that, make sure you press that thumbs up button. If you're on YouTube, you should subscribe. I'm telling you, it's just straight gold. I spit every day. And if you're on Facebook, do the same shit. Okay, now I have a property in Florida. It's a duplex, and my brother lives in half of it, and his rent is below market. So the delta between the market rate and his rate is what he pays, or what he's responsible for managing the Airbnb. So the difference between those, right? So he pays probably like a little bit over 12, and the difference between that and probably like the 16 or 15 that we could get for it, if it was just rented long term, he takes care of the Airbnb. I'll do the messaging and that kind of thing, and he does the actual physical stuff in person. So with that being said, it's been maybe 5 months. We averaged just under $1,000 a month. So basically, his 1,200 covers all of the costs for the property. And the Airbnb, we started, I think, in September or something like that. So we've got 58 total ratings for an average of 4.6, and it looks like the lowest is cleanliness. So we actually have a checklist for the property in terms of the cleanliness. I have a feeling maybe adding some air fresheners or some other things to try to make it the perception that it's cleaner, because I use Airbnb a lot when I travel, and I've been in a tremendous amount of Airbnbs, and I've never been in one that's cleaner than mine, but maybe the perception is that it's not clean in its own way, because every time the checklist we have for cleaning it is, so obviously all the bedding needs to be changed, the floors need to be swept and mopped, all the surfaces need to be wiped off, including like the windowsills and the edges of the drawers for the kitchen. The backsplash in the kitchen, the toilet needs to be cleaned and wiped, the shower needs to be cleaned and wiped, the floor in the bathroom needs to be cleaned and mopped, as well as the sink in the mirror and the windowsill in the bathroom, and the shelves in the closet also need to be wiped down, and then the closet needs to be swept out. So to do the aggregate of all those, and then the doormat needs to be shaken, and maybe one or two other small things. Also, all the stuff in all the drawers, so the silverware and the pots and pans need to be moved around to make sure that there's no like miscellaneous wrappers or just crap that has fallen down around any of the Tupperware or anything like that that's in the drawers. So there might be one or two other things. The total of all those things, because it's 400 square feet apartment, is like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 25 minutes if you're rushing. Generally about 30 minutes though. And it doesn't take that long to do it at all. Also, it's only a 400 square foot apartment, so it's really small. So most of our reviews are right about 5 or 4.9 or 4.8. The only one that is 4.6 is the cleanliness on it. So most of them we have are good. So now I actually wanted to talk about the pricing that we started out with and where we went from there. So we started in August, it looks like. So in August we had, when I was still in Florida, we were both going back and forth in terms of actually flipping the property to get ready for the next person, and we were doing it every single day because we owned a business, and one of us would make the time to be able to switch the property over when the next person left every day. So we could do that every single day. We started, I think, the pricing at about $30, sometimes $25 a night, and then I think it was like probably a $5 cleaning fee, and since then, we've changed that pricing, but also what we do is change. So I left and I'm in Massachusetts now, and he's still down there, and he has the business to run. So anytime a guest comes in there, we always leave 24-hour period till the next person comes in, so that way he doesn't have to take away from his business. And so the month after I left, right, we started in August and we made $1,041. The month later, it was $788, and that was when I left. But it was also there wasn't as many. We made sure to leave plenty of time in there, but I was in transition and he was in transition, so there was a lot of stuff neglected that month. There might have also been a time period. I think we had to replace a window that month because we'd ordered a new window in the bathroom, and that window had come in special order, so we had to block off a couple days so we could put that one in and then go through and remud it and paint it and all that crap. In October, we went up 875, then 911, and then 963 for December. Now, going into the new year, it was 941 and 914 in February. In February, and potentially in January, my brother had a friend come stay and use it, so we didn't charge his friend, and we worked that out with ourselves. So that's why those months are lower. But in the month of February is also when I decided to start seeing, because we were consistently getting bookings. So if we're consistently getting bookings, like, why not raise the price and just see until you keep raising the price until people stop booking, you know? And that was in February. So there was already a lot booked out in March. So I didn't change, there wasn't a ton of change in March. I think this was towards the beginning of February. So maybe like, I don't know, 20 to 30, 40% of the month was already booked, and then the rest of it had to be booked out. So for the month of March, which is when I implemented the changes to raise prices, we also have raised the cleaning fee to $10, but I think we did that back in December or something. $10 per visit, the cleaning fee is. So the combination between the higher cleaning fee and the higher price per night for the month of March, and I can show you these, we're estimated to have about $1,088 coming in. And that, I just looked at the actual reservations, and there's 11 nights when it's actually not getting rented out. So when you do the math on that, it's $54.40. So that's an 81% like change from what it was, right? $25 to $30 a night to $54.40 per night on average, including the cleaning fee and everything. So the amount and change, so say if like there was a couple nights that were 25, so I wouldn't say that the total for the whole entire time was, let's see, I don't think the total time period was, I think that we got a couple nights that were probably 35 in the first month that we did it. And then there was also 1 or 2 days that carried over from the previous month. I think it was August. So in July, I think the last day of July was like booked, or the last 2 days of July was booked, but the data actually came in for the month of August somehow. So there was extra dollars put into that month to make it actually look better than it was. $50, $60 or something like that. So then what I did, I think last week, as I realized that we're still booking it up and we're going to make more, is April has already been booked, right? Today's the middle of March, so about a week ago, I went through and changed all the prices for May, which wasn't booked already, to higher prices, or May or June, to so if you look at the average, maybe I can get it up to $60 a night or $70 a night, as long as we can continue growing the gross revenue on this. And I just want to show you the actual earnings. So this is so far this year. This is booked earnings, right? So if you see right here, this is what the payout page looks like. But the dark green is what's actually paid out, and this is what's expected. Generally speaking, unless somebody cancels, I think we've only had like one or two cancels so far. But most of them, this should all be booked. So if you look at this, it's 604 has been paid out and 484 is still left to come through. This is what's booked currently for the month of April. Now, if you caught what I said, this is only booked for 20 nights. So we haven't optimized that because he's still running the business full time. So more than likely we will be selling that business in the future. So if you're interested in Florida, let me know. But if we were to do that at, say, 28 nights rented out at $55 per night, that's $1,540 per night, which is, remember, all his rent covers all the costs on the property. So $1,500 is just all profit that we would split on top of it. And if he moves out of there, then we can rent out his side and make even more. But obviously there would be a little bit of delta because then we'd still have to pay a manager or something to go through and do this. But just wanted to give a quick update on that. If you guys have any questions about the whole Airbnb thing, let me know. The most common question that I get is actually how much does Airbnb take? And I think it's around 2%. It's really not that many. Also, I just started going around and updating the listing and changing some of the pictures to see if that increases the views, because I can see the total number of views in the listing and the total number of bookings from that. So playing around with the exposure and on the pictures and whatnot, and also making the description a little bit more detailed. I'm going to see if I can drive a little bit more traffic to this to allow it to get some higher prices, you know what I mean, at that $60 or whatever. But anyways, if you guys want to use my code, I think you get $20 off your first Airbnb. So there's lots of Airbnbs out there that you can get for like $25. So it's essentially almost like a free Airbnb a night. I'll put a link for the Airbnb in the description. If you're on Facebook, it'll be up there. If you're on YouTube, it's down there. And it gives you, I believe it's $20 off your first time. So if you've never used Airbnb, I travel a significant amount and relative to a lot of people I know. And the Airbnb is what we use 90% of the time for most of our travel. Anyways, appreciate you guys. Have a great day.